Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Bolagun Muaz and I'm here with my colleague.
My name is Siti Masturina.
Okay, so we would like to welcome you to this session, and we would like to give thanks to you for coming, like for honoring our request for coming to this session, to this short interview. We would like to appreciate you. So the topic of our interview is empathy and inclusivity of disability students in IIAM. Since you studied in IIM and you were among the disability units, like you registered among this disability units, so we would like you to share your experience with us in order for us to submit to our lecturer. Thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum. So we will start now. Okay. My first question goes like this. So would you like to introduce yourself at first?
Okay, sure. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to say my gratitude towards both of you for inviting me is to speak and giving me this platform to share whatever I can share, inshallah. Well, my name is Azzrulkhan Hasrullah bin Maqdad. People love to call me as Adam. It's a nickname given to me. And yes, just like Brother Muaz mentioned just now, I was a student of IIM. I'm an alumni now, and I graduated from IIM in Mass Communication Department from Mass Communication Department under the Corporate Organizational Specializations on 2018. And right now I'm doing a lot of freelance work. And before we go for the interview, I would like to mention that I'm a paraplegic. I had polio when I was a child. And then I had leukemia. Now I'm paralyzed from my waist up until my from my waist to the bottom of my feet. So I'm paralyzed. Yeah. I also have a scoliosis backbone, and yeah, I'm a wheelchair bound user. So if I want to move anywhere, I'm using my wheelchair, or I will just crawl over. Yep. And that's brief introductions from me. And also, I'm from Kuching, Sarawak, but right now I'm staying in Bangis, Selangor. Yeah.
Thank you for introducing yourself now. Sister, my student will answer the second question.
We all know that you are graduated from IIM. And we know that how you decide to stay your study here.
I'm sorry, actually, I couldn't hear you, Sister Masturina. Your voice is.
Okay, I think your voice is low. Can you maybe increase the voice a little louder?
I think it's I think she's using speaker.
Okay, like we all know, you already graduated. So we want to know how you choose IIM to continue your study.
Why do I choose the IIM? Why do everyone choose IIM? Well, I think there's a different reason for everyone to choose IIM. Generally, the idea of going to IIM is different for everyone, but there's a it's a unique university. But for me, my story is in Malaysia we have this system that we need to fill in after we had our SPM. The system is called UPU, university. I don't know the full term of it. It's a UPU. It's a university system to help, you know, SPMs. You know, to help teenagers to continue their study into university after they had their SPM examinations results. And then when I fill in, I had backstory because of my mother is was actually planning for me to continue my study in Sarawak to the nearest place that she can visit me, she can look after me. But I decided that I'm not going to be looked after by my mom. I'm not going to be one. I'm not going to be. I want to be independent. I don't want to be that uh, person that too dependent on my mom. I want to be independent. I want to see myself to grow up, to go far, and yeah, I was intentionally looking for a university that can give me the experience of growing up. You know, going and at the same time not to disobey my mother, not to disobey, but more to showing her that her son, even though her son is disabled, but this son can actually be independent. I want to show to her, but at the same time, I want to see myself, how far my potential is. Can I actually be independent, or if I cannot, can I learn to be independent? And that's why I choose IIUM at the top list of my UPU system. Yeah, there's a lot of other university that one can fill in the system, and for me, I put IIM as the first choice. Yes, one of the reason is for me to be away from my family, not because I don't love them, but mostly because I just want to show them that I want to be independent and I want to see myself being independent. Because usually people think that those who are disabled cannot be independent. And that is what I want to prove. I want to prove it otherwise, that those people who are disabled can actually take care of themselves, be independent, yeah, can study far, no matter what the challenges that we're going to face. So that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I really appreciate your answer to the question. Like, seriously, like as you said you took IIM as a top to show your courage, to show your how hardworking you are. You want to prove yourself not only to yourself but your family. You want them to see how independent you are and how courageous, how hardworking you are. I really appreciate that about you. I really appreciate. Okay, so I'll ask the next question now.
You?
So, like from what you said now, like, okay, can you explain to us how the IIM facilities has helped disabled students?
Okay, so on the part of facility, when back in my days when I first entered IIUM, the to be honest, the struggle is real because we because those who are disabled at the time know that IAM do care and do give the attention in the well-being of the whole students, including the disabled students. But at the same time, it takes time for them to truly understand what kind of facilities they need to provide. They need feedback as well. So at my time, there wasn't really much adequate facilities that were provided, and it was a struggle because I was living in Mahala Ali PG block. But then that's the thing. IAM is open up. They're willing to open up to hear our opinions, the disabled opinions, and one of the main reasons for this is because in IUM we have a lot of people fighting for it. For example, Prof. Rosita from Kuliah of Economics. She's one of the most responsible persons that caters not only for the students with disabilities but as well as the staff. Yeah, until now she's the head of disability services unit. She did a lot of good contributions, a lot of major contributions. She did a lot of most of the fights. Telling the administrations, telling the higher top managements of IUM what should they provide, what should they include in IUM environments. So she's one of the most and me and the rest. Yes,
I said like she's one of the most active person.
yes, she's one of the most active, and me and the rest. I believe me and the rest of the disabled student or owe her a lot, and we were thankful and grateful that Allah sent this kind of human being exists in IIM, and she did a lot of good things for all the disabled students as well as the staff, and due to that, there's a lot of other disabled individuals came to help as well, and at the same time we were thankful that IIM top management as well as the administrative staff were willing to listen and cooperate very well. But as we know, great achievement takes time to develop. So during my time, there's a lot of facilities that weren't actually provided. But over time, I believe until I was nearly graduated, there's a lot of big changes happen. There's a lot of big changes happen, and they changed the Mahala Usman into a center for PWDs. Mahala Sumaya, the center for the PWDs for females. There's a lot of facilities. The stadium Hamza is very disabled friendly, and a lot of other things that I am try with the help of Prof. Zita, the disabled services unit staff, getting more and more inclusive by times, and I believe if this is continued by the future leaders or whoever involved in the decision makers of IUM futures, I believe this is a very good thing, and it is encouraged because IUM is promoting Islam, teachings, and in Islam we are taught to be inclusive. We are taught to be rahmatan lil alamin, to be inclusive. That is the reason. Yes, that is the reason I believe that IUM should be the prominent, the pioneer of being the most inclusive university. And during the time of YB Mazin Malik being the Minister of Education, he and Prof. Zita were collaborating on the idea of pushing forward the inclusivity policy of university. This is a part of the zero reject policy for educations, where everyone deserves the right to have educations, and inclusive policy for university is one of the initiatives that has been done to push the environments, the support of university towards helping people with disability, and not for people with disability like me, physical, but as well as learning disability, mental disability, and all others impairment as well. Yeah.
Okay, after hearing your experience, so like we want to know, how do you overcome the challenges on the outside world, and then what is the biggest challenge you ever faced in the IIUM?
The biggest challenge, just like I mentioned just now, there's a facets of challenges that myself as student with disability had to face. For example, during my time, there wasn't really adequate facilities that can actually help me as a wheelchair users to go around the campus, right? For example, because I think you guys know how far the classes from Mahala,
Yeah.
and most I believe, even though IIM is packed with traffic jams, but most of the students have their own vehicles. Most the local have, I think majority of the local have vehicles, even though IIM is very packed. And the reason why is because the classes and their hostel is quite far, quite a distance. So that is one of my challenges, mobility. Because as a wheelchair user, I have to use my wheelchair to go around, including going to classes. And I had my motorized wheelchair, and that helped me a lot. But the thing is, the conditions of the road, the conditions of the surfaces on IUM isn't really wheelchair friendly. Some of the part is not accessible for my wheelchair, and not only not accessible, but sometimes it's quite dangerous as well. For example, there's a road that the only road that I can use to go to my mahala, my hostel, and the road have a big hole, a really big hole on it. So it's quite a challenge. And sometimes when it get raining, because there's no because I doesn't have that. Yes.
I said like a pothole, a big pothole on the floor.
Yes, and as you know, when it gets raining, IUM doesn't have that rooftop pavement, and when rain coming down, it's very dangerous to the motorized wheelchair, because the motorized wheelchair are using electric, using battery, so it cannot get wet. Yes, and sometimes the pavement is really crooked, and the pavement aren't really safe to be used by wheelchair. So that is the challenges, and sometimes people are not. There's a lot of. During my time, a lot of my friends helped me. Support me, and people in IIM are very friendly, no matter local or foreigners. I had one Nigerian neighbors. I call him Imam Shai, but he's not Imam. He likes to be called as Imam. He's a crazy guy. But he always asks and knock on my door. He will always ask, brother Adam, do you have food? You know, he like to cook, but at the same time, he doesn't like. He like to cook, but he doesn't go to the cafe. But he willing to go to the cafe for me. And yeah,
Oh.
yes, and this is one of the thing that I'm grateful. But unfortunately, not everyone is like that. There's a certain people would have attitude problem. Sometimes they park on the ramp. Sometimes they park in the middle of the road. The wheelchair cannot go. Wheelchair cannot move. And some people really just just playing ignorance. They are so ignorant that sometimes when my wheelchair got stuck, they didn't want to help and so on and everything. That happened well. And you know, one other challenges that wheelchair user like me had to face is when we have classes, but there's no elevators or there's no way for us to go to the level classes. So we had to go because, you know, sometimes we don't know where our class is. When we do subject registration, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Up until we got the confirmation, then we know where our classes is. So sometimes when the semester start, what I usually do is I will take time to, for example, if next week started, the semester started, I will go 1 week before looking for classes. Yeah, because even for non-disabled students, they get lost every single semester. Everyone in IMM experience this. No matter how smart you are, no matter what kuliah you are, no matter even if lecturer can get lost. So yes, so
Yeah.
I would take 1 week advance of my time looking for classes, and then sometime I realize the classes are inaccessible, where there's no elevator, there's only stairs. For example, if you guys know this class, it's on Salpet, level 5. Salpet, level 5. There's no road for it.
Oh.
Only stairs. Yeah, that was one of the example. And then what happened is we had to go to the kuliah departments to tell them, to inform them that we cannot do this. And sometimes it takes times. And sometimes we miss classes up until we had to drop the subject. Yeah, so that happens during my time. And there's a people trying to solve it, but you cannot solve that problem for the PWDs if the main problem is the subject registration itself. And this is not a problem for PWDs, just for the PWDs. It's a problem for every single student in IAM. So you have to solve that first, and then you can help, because we do suggest to them that if the student with disabilities register to the classes have to move at least ground floor. Yes, that is been suggested, from us, from disabled community towards any administrative, but the core problem hasn't been solved yet, so they cannot do that. But hopefully someday IUM will solve the problem. Yeah, and we would make everyone happy, including us, disabled students. And that thing doesn't happen to me, just to me. My junior had to face the same thing, and I experienced. I had to drop 1 or 2 subjects in a semester. I had gone through it, and the same thing happened to my junior. He had to drop his subject because the classes, he missed the classes because he cannot access the classes, and it took the administrative staff to process everything. Sometimes it took like 3 weeks, and you miss a lot of classes already. Then it's better for you to just drop the solution, just to drop, and then that's the sad thing. Unfortunately, but we hope it's not going to continue, and probably her team is continuing the fight, helping at the same time, specifically on the examination period, where sometimes some of us disabled students have problems. We took extra time to answer the question. For example, Sister Amalina, one of the students of ICO, Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Law, she has the problem of her sight, her visions. So what happened is, every single time she have to go to examination period, she will ask a special request for the exam paper to be larger. The usual size A4 paper, she will get the A3 paper.
Wow.
Yeah, and also she will get extra time for it. And most of us got extra time. But me myself, I didn't actually request for it, and I didn't get it because I can manage it. But some of us can request it, and Proposita will help calling the department and everything. To engage with this the person in charge and everything that is regarding to the examination periods. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was like a wonderful challenge. Like, so I can say it's one of the biggest challenge like who we're gonna face. Like, exams, classes, like movements, mahalla, stuff like that. Wow. Sorry. Welcome back to the next session. Okay, I would like to ask the question again. I want to ask the question again. Okay, I said, like, what makes you want to become a social entrepreneurship, and like, do you mind sharing your experience before you decided to be a social entrepreneurship?
Right. Social entrepreneurship. Well, it's actually something. It has been done by a lot of Malaysians actually, but it's still something that majority of Malaysians seems to not knowing about it, and seems to feel strange about it. And even in making it as official, we don't really have that system. We can only do in making it as a company under SSM, under the Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia, the company registrations of Malaysia, ROC, registry of a company, and you will get your license. But in terms of making it as a specific social enterprise or social entrepreneurship, we haven't do that yet. For me myself, for my personal experience, this all started because I had my own NGO, Humidity High. I've been leading my NGO since 2016. Because we started. Before I established my NGO, the thing is, people always like to do hiking with me. You know, people love to do hiking with me, and sometimes they wouldn't mind to pay certain amount of money to go hiking with me. So after a while, I was thinking that maybe I can do something with my hobbies, you know, hiking and helping the disabled community as well outside of IIM. So that is when I started to go hike, but at the same time, I will do a crowdfunding. So we did a lot of hiking trips project, at the same time doing charity as well. We help a lot of community, not only for the disabled, for the orphanage, for the old folk nursery homes as well. So we do a lot of helping those needs, the poor, and then everything. We collaborate with a lot of people, and yeah, since that, you know, I've been moving around with my NGOs, and then I found out that there's a thing called social entrepreneurship. I learned it last year. Just like last year I learned about it. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe I can make this as a career as well. You know, like killing two birds with one stone. I already established my NGOs, and I'm doing something that I like, while I'm turning it into a career as well. I turn it into a career because at the same time, you know how hard it is to. It is hard for disabled people to find jobs. You know, to find jobs. Even though Malaysians government are still, you know, giving out opportunities, but at the same time we have to compete with a lot of people. There's a 1%. There's a 1% initiative, 1% quota initiative done by the government of Malaysia to help the disabled people in Malaysia getting jobs, but it's a process. It's a process. So I don't. So for me myself, I don't want to think much. You know, to wait for people to get me hired. So I move around, turn my NGOs into a part of a social entrepreneurship, and then this all started. I registered it under tourism and culture, and we make a monthly charity based hiking. This is our main product, and we did also crowdfund everywhere to help a lot of people. So yeah, our business model is more towards cross subsidizations and one for one kind of model business. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sir, can you put on your mic, Sister Masturina?
Okay, can we know what advice that you would like to share with the IIM student that interested to be social entrepreneurship like you?
I can give a bite, but at the same times, I believe there's a lot of people in Malaysia you can refer to, and you know, make an inspirations as well. For example, one of the people that me myself look up to is Ustad Abid Liu. You know, the famous guy who helped a lot of people, you know, by doing a lot of the charity work. He helped. He sent an he sent a big cargo, you know, using aeroplanes for people in Sabah. He sent water, 2 tank of lorry of water in Selangor, and what he did, what all the thing that he did, all the thing that he contributed is really inspiring. And we need a lot of good people in this world. You know, we need especially at this time of crisis. You know, there's a lot of people who got affected by it, especially the pandemic, and a lot of people are praying to get through 2020, and inshallah we are getting through 2020, and it's almost 2021 already. And for me myself, my advice would be, why not? You know, why not? Because the difference between NGO and social entrepreneurship is, NGO is helping people, you know, based on whatever you can get. For example, if you got donations, you contribute according to the donations. But social entrepreneurship is more than that. The more you can generate incomes, the more you can help people. For example, what Abid Liu did is he created Ilyu Small, Ilyu Smart, you know. So when Ilyu Smart profits a certain amount, he can contribute. He can even put free donations in each of his branches. So that is social entrepreneurship. You know, difference between NGO and social entrepreneurship is you cannot legally or officially make income out of your NGO. That is not really proper, or not really, you know, not really. Yeah, but if you do social entrepreneurship, you not only earn income for yourself and generate money, but at the same time, certain social entrepreneurship create job opportunity as well. For example, Silent Teddy. If you can Google Silent Teddy, Google it right now. It's a bakery shop that teach and train people with disability, with blind, you know, blind people, to bake and sell. They teach and train them. We also have Autism Cafe, who hire autistic people to be waiters and cooks in the cafe. So there's a lot of social entrepreneurship that open up a job opportunity for the people, and even the government right now, Malaysian government right now, is pushing towards a lot more social entrepreneurships rather than just NGOs. For example, under Magic, Malaysian, what do you call that? Magic. It's under MDEC. It's under entrepreneurships ministry. Let me Google up Magic. Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Center, Magic, is helping a lot of individual out there who has business and want to turn their business into social entrepreneurship. So Malaysia is moving towards that. And my advice is, if you can do it, do it. Why not? Why not earn at the same time contribute? Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is my advice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Welcome. Jazakallah.
Okay. So what is your advice? The last question, but not the least. What's your advice to all the disability students in IIM? What kind of advice can you give them to me?
What can I advise personally for me? For all the IIM's community? IIM student?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
IIM disability student.
In the context of our interview right now, you know, inclusivity and empathy towards disabled people in IIM. My advice for all the IIM students, and maybe everyone in IIM, students or staff, is to be more alert, to be more aware of those surrounding, you know, especially regarding what the disabled people needs, because we are moving towards a time where disabled people should not face challenges like people park in the disabled area, or people using the disabled toilet. This is not the time anymore. You know, we are not at the 90s. We are not at 80s anymore. We're not at back without internet where people
Yeah.
don't have that knowledge on it. That's the thing, you know. Just if you are not disabled, but you saw someone who are not disabled as well, using disabled facilities for disabled persons, do take actions. For example, just advise. Assalamualaikum, brother. You are not are you disabled? Because sometimes sometimes there's a disabled person who doesn't look like disabled. Firstly, you have to ask. Ask politely. Are you disabled? If the person answers, I'm not disabled, then you can just advise him, this facilities is for disabled. There might be some disabled person who might use it second after this, and they cannot use it because of you. So please, you know, use other facilities or park somewhere else. If the person is in emergency, it's not an excuse. You are not the only one who have problems. You are not the only one who have emergency. Some people say, oh, I park here because I have emergency. You're not the only one who have emergency. But the thing is, you have emergency and you are not disabled, you still can use any way, any kind of facilities. But if this disabled persons have emergency, he can only use that particular thing. So be mindful. You know, you're not the only one who facing challenges in this world. Others as well. There's every one of us is fighting our own battles. Please be kind, be mindful, be aware, and you know, help to create the awareness. Even though you're not disabled or doesn't have any family that is disabled, do help to spread the kindness. And do like my Facebook NGO Facebook page, Unity Hype, and help us to reach more people that are in need and make it more beneficial, inshallah. So yeah, that is my last word. And inshallah, do more kindness, and you know, during your time in your IIM, use it wisely. That's the best experience in the world, and make it a joy and kindful experience. Yeah.
Okay.
So
we at
okay,
the
so
end of the session.
Masturina to end the session.
Yeah, we already at the end of the session, and thank you to the Father Adam for sharing their experience with us, and thank you for lending their time to share their experience with us. Okay, and sorry for the inconvenience from us, and that's all for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamualaikum.
Jazakumullah khair. Okay.